In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Lamia is a large monstrosity with an AC of 13 and 97 hit points that naturally occurs in deserts. It has a +7 to Deception and a 4 to Insight, as well as a +3 to Stealth. It has pretty average stats, as well as Dark Vision and a nominal passive perception of 12. The Lamia is also an innate spellcaster, with a spell save of DC 13. It can cast Disguise Self and transform into any humanoid form at will, as well as being able to cast Major Image whenever it wants. It can cast Charm Person, Mirror Image, Scrying, and Suggestion 3 times per day each. It can also cast Gaius once per day, which is a powerful charm spell that lasts for 30 days and forces the charmed creature to follow all commands given, short of commands that would lead it to suicide. In combat, the Lamia makes 2 attacks, one with its claws and one with its dagger. Or it can choose to use its melee spell attack, Intoxicating Touch, which magically curses the target, giving them disadvantage on all wisdom saving throws and all ability checks. As a DM, I believe that the Lamia is not built to be a combat encounter monster. The +7 to Deception and +4 to Insight makes this creature a natural liar in social settings, and the ability for it to use magic to disguise itself and influence a creature's mind just adds to its social abilities. I would use a Lamia as part of a story in my campaigns, perhaps as a spy for the main villain of a story arc, or in the context of a creature using a social event like a party to scope out its next meal. I have participated in and run murder mystery one-shots in the past, and the Lamia would be a wonderful creature to use for a low-level party. I would have the Lamia use Disguise Self to appear humanoid to all the people around it, and then start charming people both with deception and with spellcasting. By using Scrying, the Lamia can spy on its victims and the party, and stalk them from afar, and with Charm Person, it can turn the tides in any social situation. If the Lamia realizes that it's about to get into combat, it should immediately find the closest, strongest party member and cast Gaius on them. If they fail the save, they come under its control. I would have the Lamia order them to defend it against their companions, gaining a tank that keeps it safe. From that point on, the strategy, in my opinion, would be to use its Intoxicating Touch if anyone gets too close, followed by charm spells to keep people away. If it runs out of spells to crowd control, the Lamia should then attack creatures that get too close with its claws and dagger, and try to escape this suddenly no-win scenario. I would have the Lamia use Major Image to make a copy of itself as a distraction while it runs away or tries to disguise itself again and blend back into a crowd. The Lamia in D&D lives to bring, quote, strife and suffering into the world. It is a creature with the upper body of a woman and the lower half of a lion. They are crafty creatures, and tales are told about Lamia nobles with the lower half of a serpent, similar to the Yuan-Ti. However, they no longer exist in 5th edition. In Greek mythology, Lamia was the hauntingly beautiful queen of ancient Libya who slept with Zeus, the horniest of all the gods. His wife Hera found out, and instead of going after him, she instead stole Queen Lamia's children and killed them. Lamia understandably went crazy and started snatching up and eating whatever children she could find. As this myth spread, the Lamia eventually became a type of ghost or specter that uses its beauty to seduce young men. It would sleep with them and then feast on their flesh once they had fallen asleep. They are described as having the body of a woman except for a serpent's tail instead of legs. It is theorized that the Lamia was used as a sort of boogeyman or fairy tale to frighten Greek children, as well as to scare young men away from frivolous sexual dalliances. When comparing the myth to the monster, we find that the modus operandi of the Lamia remains the same. It lies, beguiles, and seduces its victims until it can kill them. However, the myth and the monster diverge in the physical description of the Lamia. While the myth describes them as women with serpentine qualities, the Lamia in D&D has lion's legs, which reminds me of another creature that usually lives out in the deserts of D&D. If you enjoyed that video, consider giving it a like and giving me a follow. And for more of my videos, you can find me on Twitch @Moglaroo, YouTube @Moglaroo Streams, and TikTok @Moglaroo Streams as well.